What would you do if you had billions of dollars in hard cash? Definitely have a hard time storing them for sure. Let us look at the classic rags to riches story of the richest criminal of all time, the world's most powerful drug trafficker in the 80s and 90s, the Colombian drug lord and narco-terrorist Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. And I welcome you to The Whole Lot. Escobar was born on December 1st, 1949 in Rio Negro, Colombia. He was raised in Medellin by his father, who was a farmer, and mother, a school teacher. Since childhood, he dreamed of becoming a successful man. He wanted to be the president of Colombia. But coming from a poor family, he was unable to complete his education from the Universidad Autónoma Latinoamérica of Medellin, as he was forced to drop out of college due to lack of money. People say this was the tipping point in his life. He got indulged in criminal activities. He sold tombstones and cars and sold them. He was selling fake diplomas and whatnot. Later on, he started smuggling marijuana and other drugs. In 1970, he saw an opportunity to gain more power and wealth in the underground cocaine market, as the demand for cocaine was rising in the United States. After working for other drug traffickers for a while, often kidnapping and holding people for ransom, in 1975, he ordered the murder of Medellin cocaine dealer Fabio Restrepo and seized his drug operation. He's a brutal, badass murderer, but most importantly, he's a family man and a great lover. In March 1976, when he was 26 years old, he married to Maria Victoria. She was 11 years younger than him. Together, they had two children, Juan Pablo and Manuela. It was reported that when he was on a run in 1992 to 1993, he burned $2 million to keep his daughter warm. Now, Juan Pablo goes by the name Sebastian Marroquin, and he's a Colombian architect and author. And his daughter, Manuela Escobar, is a Colombian businessman and homemaker. Let's talk about the pile of money that Pablo Escobar was sitting on before his death. His primary source of his immense wealth was his Medellin cartel, a ruthless drug organization. Medellin is the second largest city in Colombia, and it was said to be the most dangerous city in the 80s. Under the leadership of Escobar, the other key members of the cartel were Jose Gonzalo Gacha, who was a pig farmer turned into a professional killer. Then there was Carlos Letter, a marijuana trafficker, and there were three brothers from a ranching family, George Ochoa, Juan David, and Fabio. The cartel had a small island in the Bahamas, which served as a refueling point for the planes carrying cocaine from Colombia. The cocaine was transferred into smaller planes and few submarines, which were then carried to Florida every day. They did this up to 5 to 7 times a day. About 15 tons of drugs was transferred every day. The estimated total production and transportation cost of 1 kilo of cocaine was around $5,000, and the same kilo sold for $50,000 to $70,000 in the streets of United States, the most faithful customer to Escobar. Escobar's cartel was pulling in $60 million in one day, that is, $420 million a week and $22 billion a year. Like most of the billionaires who have money in the form of stocks and shares, the members of the Medellin cartel had money in cold hard cash. Escobar's stakes in the cartel was 40%. They used to buy $1,000 of rubber bands to arrange their pile of cash every day. They bought old warehouses and fields to store an immense amount of hard cash. Every year, about 10% of their cash was damaged by rats and water. This is about $2.2 billion every year. At the end of the 80s, Escobar was supplying 80% of the world's cocaine and 90% of the total cocaine to United States. Escobar was called as the Colombian Robin Hood, as he spent his money for community projects such as building churches, houses for poor, and an entire neighborhood. He wanted the power of the people to keep him safe. But most of the money he spent was in bribing people and living a lavish lifestyle. Escobar has a number of homes, but his most notable property was the 7,000-acre estate known as the Hacienda Napolis. The estate had more than 10 houses, a private airport, sculpture parks, and a complete zoo with animals from all around the world. The Colombian cocaine king made it to the Forbes International list for 7 years in a row, from 1987 to 1993. Escobar was also a member of the Colombian Liberal Party in 1982. He was elected as the deputy representative to the chairman of representatives of Colombia's Congress. After finding a linkage between him and the illegal drug smuggling, he was expelled from the Congress and his US visa was cancelled. He expanded his power ruthlessly with the policy of plata or plomo, which means silver or lead. He first tried to bribe the problematic person who came on his way. If they did not accept the money, then he would have had that person get killed. He believed to have killed more than 3,000 people under his reign, including judges, politicians, civilians, policemen, military men, and people from other cartels. Escobar was involved in the assassination of Luis Carlos Galán, a liberal politician and journalist who ran for the presidency of Colombia. Because of all these crimes committed by Escobar, when the time came for him to go to jail, he had an agreement with the Colombian government to not be extradited to the US on drug charges. He surrendered to the Colombian authorities to serve for a maximum of 5 years at the prison, but on few conditions. He wanted to design the prison by himself and wanted to be guarded by people of his own. He still ran his business from within the luxurious prison called as La Catedral or the Hotel Escobar or the Club Medellin. Within the prison, he killed 2 of his associates from the Medellin cartel. This caused the Colombian government to take some serious action against this unlawful act. He somehow managed to escape the facility and stayed underground for 16 months until he was shot dead on 1993 by US-trained Colombian military. Till date, many of the Colombians still see Pablo Escobar as a hero for his contribution to the society. A large portion of his money that was found after his death was confiscated by the Colombian government. At the time of his death, he had a net worth of $30 billion, which is equivalent to $64 billion as of 2021. Still a lot of money is buried in his infamous abandoned houses and estates. I hope somebody finds it. It will surely help increase the GDP of Colombia. If you like the video, then do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for such amazing videos in the future.
Asegurar que su dinero nunca ha tenido vinculación con el narcotráfico.
Siempre he asegurado que mi dinero no tiene vínculos con el narcotráfico. Yo busco la paz y siempre he predicado la paz y he anhelado la paz.